everyone, today I'm going to talk about a very common scenario where families with bilingual parents have children who begin to favor English, which is the majority language here in the US, over their heritage language, which in my case is Korean and Spanish for my daughter. This is always a journey and it's not easy, but there are ways to reset. Here are 3 ways to keep your child motivated to continue speaking their heritage language. Step 1, develop a family language policy. So think about the people in your home, have a conversation with them, and decide who is going to speak to the child in what language and at what times. You'll also want to decide about grandparents and other family members who your child has access to ask them to also collaborate in this policy. Also, think about what language you're going to use as the common language when you're with other friends and in the company of other people who may not necessarily speak your languages. Consistency is key here, and it's not always easy, but again, it's okay to reset. Second, remember we talked about the importance of input, which then leads to output in one of my previous posts. Well, looking back, I discovered that my daughter overhearing English in my work conversations and in my conversations with friends really led to her having what's called overheard input. And that played a role in my daughter acquiring English a little bit faster than I would have wanted to, and slowly began to favor the English over the Korean and Spanish little by little. Since the majority language is usually the prestige language, which is the language of school and friends, entertainment, and just of the community, it made her more interested in learning English, and this is often what happens with those heritage speakers who are living in the US. What can you do about this? Well, this takes us to number 3. Discuss the value of why your heritage language should be maintained. In other words, establish the purpose. Why? Why should I speak the heritage language? What's the purpose? And do so with follow-through. So for example, if you say, well, it's to speak to your grandparents and it's to speak to your family members, then make sure to give the opportunity to your child to actually use the heritage language to establish those relationships. If possible, travel to a place where the heritage language is the majority language. That is also very wonderful, because in that instance, your child will begin to see that the value of the heritage language is also high, and so then it will increase the prestige of the language. Now that you have followed through with these 3 steps, join me next time on Dr. Lingo Mom so I can share with you specific interactions that you can have between you and your child so that you can improve their use of the heritage language. Thanks for joining.